Well, hey, good evening, friends. Welcome back to my little gardening show. Tonight we're going to have some fun. I had planted some extra tomato seeds because initially when we had started our tomatoes a few weeks back, not everything sprouted real well. Well, those seeds have since sprouted and there's some pretty good plants here. In fact, I've got 4 containers, different varieties, and they're starting to change color. I need to pot these up if I want to do anything with them. It's been difficult to find time to do that, but I did manage to get the 2 of the kids to help me this past weekend prep the pots here, and let me show you. So they helped fill these with potting mix, which is good. So what we need to do, whether it's tonight or later this week, is make our holes. And what I'll probably do is water these a little bit first, just so that when we go to use the dibber, you know, it doesn't backfill on itself. You see that, how it's backfilling on itself? So if we can wet this down a little bit, it's going to make it a little bit easier to pot these up, because my indentations will stay, and then I'll be able to kind of pack the grow mix and worm castings around the plants. So overall, things are going well. Been out to Dad's house a few times. Again, we're starting a little bit later this season due to the kind of crazy spring. You know, we had frost all the way up through part of last week, I believe. So it's been, and we had snow before that, I think the week of my dad's birthday, which was like late April. But that seems to be what the weather is like here in Southwest Ohio. That was probably the biggest change moving from Northwest Indiana, where we got kind of the lake effect and things were kind of buffered to an extent, and we didn't have as wild as swings in temperature and the pop-up storms like we do here. I mean, here things could be sunny and cool, everything's going good, and next thing you know, the clouds start gathering and turns darker, and then next thing you know, you get a pop-up storm you're having to deal with, which kind of makes it challenging when you're trying to harden off plants and you know, put things on like a wire rack outside and kind of ease them into the outdoors. Just makes it a little more challenging to grow anything here. And then typically, you know, we end up dealing with some early or late spring, early summer storms, you know, with straight line winds and stuff like that. So again, not the kindest conditions to grow things in. Nevertheless, we continue to try, and it's worked out. So everything's going pretty well. We got the peppers are looking great. The cold weather stuff, they've been out there now for about 5 weeks and they're ready. I could probably, in fact, I probably will plant them this weekend. Haven't posted any videos yet of the actual garden, like as far as the prep we did. But we did get quite a bit done this past weekend. Mapped out all the beds in the garden area. It's going to be fairly similar to last year. Went with 30-inch wide paths that are about 18 foot long a piece. There's a 4-foot walking path down the middle of the garden to get things through, and then there's 30-inch walking paths on each side of the bed. So I've got 14, altogether 14 beds in the main garden. And I've got them staked off so that when Dad goes to water, or we pull a hose through, we're not going to clip any plants. They'll go around the stakes, and it kind of marks them out as far as the area that we'll be cultivating this year. Tomato trellis will be ready to go. I'm a little concerned about moles. Seems like there's some trails there. The dog took a pretty good interest in some areas there around the tomato trellis, so it will be interesting to see how things turn out this year. And that was the light. There we go. Got things on a timer. Need to turn that back on, potentially. So anyway, everything is staked out. It's going to look pretty nice. Really impressed with what the leaf mulch was able to do this year. We got, instead of I think last year we got 2 loads. This year we got 3 loads, or this past year for going into the winter of this year. So this past fall we got 3 giant loads of leaves. Everything mulched at least a foot thick, and that really helped. The garden is very clean. It didn't take us long at all to get the weeds out that were starting to sprout, namely the Canadian thistle. But what was interesting about that was that we were actually able to get it out, mostly, a lot of the root out. We're still probably going to have sprigs that sprout here and there, but we were able to extract almost all of it. And I think if we can get out there consistently, like every couple days, and just walk through the paths with a Stirrup or regular hoe, we should be able to maintain it and stay on top of it before anything else happens, before the weeds can get a foothold, which is good. Other than that, I've got some stuff here at the house that, again, the tomatoes are pot up. We need to start some lettuce, which should only take a couple weeks to get going. And then we may experiment a little bit with microgreens here at the house. I got a couple books on it. It seems kind of interesting. Apparently they're really nutritious. It can be up to, I think the one book I was reading said up to 40 times, contain up to 40 times the nutrient value or nutritional value is like their full-grown counterpart, which I guess kind of makes sense, since everything is really small and you're catching them in their growth stage. And guess what? There is a godforsaken stink bug right there, climbing up the side of the wall. So we're going to take care of that, hopefully. Mission accomplished. Oh shoot. Let's see what else is going on. we got a lot going on this weekend. We are actually going to be part of a wedding. We've got some friends that we had an opportunity to do their premarital counseling, and that was interesting. Recent college graduates, they are actively looking for employment as well as a place to live. And I don't think any of that's been settled just yet. And they're getting married this weekend. So, it will be neat. But I don't know. I mean, for those of you out here that are going to listen to this later, or watch this later, or maybe pop in, you think back through like all that's involved in like getting to know another person and leading up to getting married, you know, and it's a big commitment, you know, it's a life-changing commitment. And I don't know, I think most of us didn't really have, you know, I don't think if you knew all that you were getting into before making that commitment, you'd probably be a little bit, you would think, you would give it more thought, right? But a lot of cool stuff as well, and it's been neat kind of watching them kind of get to know each other and work through things, and you know, give them some practical advice and whatnot. So anyway, that's going on this Saturday. We don't have a baseball game. We did have a ball game tonight, and our team won again, which was good, but it got pretty competitive towards the end. Score, initially we were winning like 12-2, and then scored 4 more points, and it was like 16-6. They scored some points, but in the last inning they came back and got all the way up through, I think, 15 runs before we finally got the third out on them, and then we were done. So it's kind of a nail biter there at the end, but all is well. So, anywho, hope to do some planting this weekend, along with the other activities that we got going on. Get some tomatoes going, get a few more of these out at the greenhouse, and then probably by Memorial Day weekend, we'll have some stuff that we could potentially put out in the garden, providing we've got a little bit of time to harden them off, you know, to the outdoor conditions. So, all right, well, it is getting late, and I hope everything's going well for you guys out there, and I will catch you on the next one. Until next time, happy gardening. Let's see here. Bye.